In the headlines, Bola Tinubu beats 13 contenders to clinch APC presidential ticket. Former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso picks NNPP presidential ticket. Governor Fintiri imposes curfew on 2 local government areas in Adamawa. And on the foreign scene, Bangladesh begins investigation into deadly container depot fire. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now the news in detail. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been elected as the candidate of the party to fly the party's flag in next year's general elections. Tinubu polled 1,271 votes, resoundingly beating 22 other aspirants to emerge the candidate. In his victory speech, the former Lagos State Governor urged other aspirants to join hands with him to beat the People's Democratic Party in 2023. Kende Amadou reports. Now, subsequent bulletin. Senate President Ahmed Lawal trusted delegates of choice as of Bola Tinubu as APC's candidate. The President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, said that the emergence of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu as presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress has reassured his party of winning the 2023 presidential poll. In a press statement made available to newsmen, the Senate President, who is also an aspirant in the just concluded APC primaries, says he trusts the process and accepted that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the popular choice who can deliver the job. In the statement signed by the Senate President, he felicitated with Bola Tinubu and expressed confidence in the victory of the APC come 2023. The statement added that the success of the event again demonstrates the capacity of the great party to run its internal affairs smoothly and devoid of rancor. Meanwhile, the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has elected former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso as its presidential candidate for the 2023 election. Kwankwaso, who was the sole presidential aspirant of the party, was returned unopposed at the party's national convention held at the National Stadium, Abuja. The report. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso with his supporters defected from the ruling APC to join NNPP in March this year. He is the lone presidential aspirant of the party. Declaring Senator Kwankwaso as the presidential candidate of the NNPP, the chairman of the party's election committee, Muhammad Abdulaziz, said Rabiu Kwankwaso is the right man to lead Nigeria out of its current predicament and restore the nation's past glory through purposeful leadership and people-oriented policies and programs. The national chairman of the party, Professor Rufai Al-Ghali, and another chieftain of the party, Ibrahim Shekarau, said the NNPP is the only party that can salvage the country and rescue Nigerians from the era of bad leadership and deliver the true dividends of democracy.
It is the beginning of a journey to create the new nation of our dream, the new nation of our hope. It is not about the size, the history in terms of long years of stay of the party. It is dependent upon our commitment, our determination, and our sincere hope to bring the required change in Nigeria.
We have had the motion for the adoption of all our candidates who won the various offices during the last primaries. We are getting ready to take them to INEC. We are now calling for all members of the convention to approve the list. This motion has been moved by the chairman of Yobe State and seconded by the chairman of Ondo State.
In his acceptance speech, the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, assured Nigerians that if elected, he will tackle insecurity and put the country on the path to rapid economic development, adding that what the country needs is someone who can unify its people and give every Nigerian a sense of belonging.
We are going to do whatever it takes to support our military, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, security agencies, ensure that there is synergy between them, provide them with arms, ammunition, the kids, and their welfare, training and retraining. This, what is happening in this country, will be a thing of the past.
The NNPP National Convention was attended by all state chairmen of the party and all aspirants that will fly the flag of the NNPP in the 2023 general elections. Ibrahim Yusuf, Trust TV News, Abuja. And now to our earlier story of the APC presidential primary, where the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been elected candidate of the party to fly the party's flag in next year's election. Tinubu polled 1,271 votes, resoundingly beating 22 other aspirants to emerge the candidate. In his victory speech, the former Lagos State Governor urged other aspirants to join hands with him to beat the People's Democratic Party in 2023. Kende Amadou reports.
From the entrance of the aspirants, it was clear a contest was at hand. In a charged atmosphere, 23 aspirants all presented their plans to the delegates.
I can lead our party towards the brightest future.
I want to tell Nigerians and the delegates who are here, don't vote for me if I'm qualified.
When you are casting your vote, think of the roads you ply before you get to this point.
It is for these reasons that I present myself to you as the presidential candidate of our great party, the APC.
Straight to the elections.
40 boxes, 40.
And counting of votes.
Professor Sibanjo.
At the end of the day, there are 4 front-runners with 1,974 votes between them. Of the 1,974 votes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in a comfortable lead with 1,271 votes. The stepping down of 7 aspirants for the national leader may have contributed to the wide margin with which he led his closest opponent.
I want to urge all my supporters, I want to urge all of you that believe in me, that have somebody that can do the job. You all rally around him to do the job. And it's no stranger to me. We have been together for quite some time. And that is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Accord me the respect to offer the support you are giving me to my elder brother, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The vaunted favorite, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, scored 235 votes, while the suggested consensus candidate, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, scored 152 votes. Interestingly, former Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi came second, trailing far behind Tinubu with 316 votes. Now that the primaries are over, the next thing is to strategize for the presidential elections, a fact that is not lost on the winner. The stage is now set for the battle between the 2 biggest parties in the Nigerian political sphere. From Eagle Square, Abuja, Kende Amodu, Trust TV News.
Now, still on politics, with presidential primaries of various political parties gradually coming to an end, the outlook of the 2023 election is becoming clearer as flag bearers of political parties emerge. In this 3-part series, Nana Mohammed profiles the presidential candidates of political parties who will slug it out for the country's top job. The report.
According to INEC timetable, the presidential poll will be held on 25th February 2023. As a prelude to participation in the poll, parties must elect flag bearers to fly the flag of the parties. Presently, major political parties like the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), People's Democratic Party (PDP), and the Labour Party (LP) have all concluded their primaries. From these parties, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged from the PDP. Former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu was victorious in the APC, while Peter Obi, former Anambra Governor, is flying the flag of the Labour Party. Atiku Abubakar, a former Nigerian vice president and the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), is from Adamawa, northeast Nigeria. He was born on 25th November 1946. Atiku Abubakar has unsuccessfully contested 5 times for the office of the President of Nigeria in 1993, 2007, 2011, 2015, and 2019. Many pundits say this may be his last shot at the presidency due to his age. Peter Obi is the candidate of the Labour Party for the 2023 Nigerian election. He was born on 19 July 1961 from Anambra, southeastern Nigeria. He was a 2-term governor of the state. Peter Obi ran as the vice presidential candidate in the 2019 Nigerian election under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Bola Tinubu is the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, the ruling APC. He was born 29 March 1952 from southwest Nigeria. He is currently the national leader of the All Progressives Congress since the party's formation in 2013. He previously served as the governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 and senator for Lagos West during the brief Third Republic. These are the choices that the APC, PDP, and Labour Party have given Nigerians to choose from come 2023. Nana Muhammad, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Social Democratic Party, SDP, on Wednesday began a special convention to elect its presidential flag bearer for the 2023 elections. Party faithful from across the country gathered at the International Conference Center, Abuja, for this exercise. National chairman of the party, Shehu Gabam, lamented the failure of leadership in the country since the attainment of independence in 1960, adding that the SDP has considered it expedient to present itself to Nigerians as a veritable alternative that will lead the country to greater heights. And as the general elections draw nearer in 2023, the need for registered voters to collect their PVCs to enable them participate in the process has again come to the fore. This is to ensure that voters are not disenfranchised while those elected do not face legitimacy crisis from those who could not cast their votes. The report.
Every 4 years, Nigerians troop out to electing leaders who they believe will provide the much-needed dividends of democracy that will make life easier for them via a democratic election. Most times, the number of people that elect leaders are small compared to the overall population. Out of the over 84 million of the registered voting population, a good number of them have no PVC, a situation that leaves many worrying.
First and foremost, as a Nigerian, it is part of my civic right to have my permanent voter's card so that I will have the opportunity of voting to select my leaders or leaders during the general elections.
To these civil servants, the method of collection and distribution of PVC ought to have been flexible, as most people could not afford spending long hours for collection.
It's very important to get our PVC because that is the only power to elect our leaders. That is the only access that we can use to elect the leader of our choice.
Whoever emerges through a process where majority do not participate could suffer legitimate crisis, according to these political scientists. The capability of INEC to register large number of prospective voters, he said, is another factor why many do not possess the PVC and calls for an improvement in the process.
Well, you see, even the 7 out of every 10 Nigerian, the 72 million that have the PVC, we can say their PVCs are ready, but not all of them are actually in possession of the PVC. And this is not a good development for the country's democracy, for the individual citizen, and for the entire political process.
Taking part in the process of electing leaders is a civic responsibility that requires all eligible and registered voters to participate in.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come on the news, what toilets in public buildings look like. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Bola Tinubu beat 13 other contenders to clinch APC presidential ticket. And former Kano State Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso picks NNPP presidential ticket. Now moving on to other news. Governor Ahmad Fintiri of Adamawa State has imposed a curfew in parts of Lamurde and Guyuk local government areas following renewed communal clashes. His press secretary, Humwashi Wanisoku, said in a statement. According to statements, the curfew will last between 5 p.m. and 6 a.m. until it is reviewed. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the clash erupted on Monday morning, where the deployment of security personnel has brought relative peace to the area. Fintiri said the government is concerned about persisting tensions and reported attempts by some people to take laws into their hands by attacking individuals and private facilities as well as public property. The governor, while calling for calm, expressed sympathy with the families of those affected by the crisis. And residents of Dansado Emirate in Zamfara State say they can no longer access their farmlands due to the activities of bandits who have taken over their lands. They are also lamenting that some of them are paying levies to enable the bandits allow them to work on their farmlands during the rainy season. Some of the residents who spoke in an exclusive interview with Trust TV disclosed that some villagers paid 20 million naira as levies to the bandits, who they say are demanding for more. The report.
Dansado Emirate is believed to be where banditry originated from in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. It is surrounded by the Kuyabana forest, which spread from Dansado to Birnin Gwari in Kaduna and Kebbi states in northwest, as well as Niger State in north-central Nigeria. The Kuyabana forest was said to be a hideout for criminal elements who are unleashing terror on innocent citizens of the state in particular and Nigeria at large. Some residents of the community lamented that they cannot access their farmlands as a result of the bandits taking over their lands and demanding levies before they are allowed to farm. While calling on the federal and Zamfara state governments to address the menace, the residents say they have resorted to prayer to seek God's intervention in the time being.
Banditry activity in our domain, like all southern part of Zamfara state, which covers Katsina state boundary, Zamfara, Kaduna, Niger, and the Kebbi, we get it difficult to continue with the farming season. Only rely on one action, that is prayers. We join hands, we stand to God for prayer.
Abdulsalam Shehu, a farmer at Kukami Shika community in Mayana ward of Gusau local government, said abduction and killings of innocent farmers are alarming in their area. He wants authorities concerned to assist in addressing the security situation so that peace and stability will be returned to enable them carry out their farming activities during this year's rainy season. The farmers are hoping that the federal and Zamfara state governments will take proactive steps to address the prevailing insecurity which is currently facing the state and restore peace in the troubled areas to enable residents go about their lawful businesses.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari in April signed Executive Order 11, sanctioning maintenance of federal public buildings across the country. The president said the order would reinforce the National Public Building Maintenance Policy approved in 2019. Ibrahim Ismail observes maintenance culture at the Federal Secretariat Complex in Gombe State 2 months after signing the order and files in this report.
This is the Gombe State Federal Secretariat, located behind Gombe Motor Park. The 4-story building has a walk and wheelchair ramp but has no lift. The environment is looking very clean and the toilets are tidy. Some civil servants whose offices are in the building speak.
We have our cleaners that every morning they come to office to clean all the offices and a place of convenience that they always clean.
And maintenance here, the cleaning is very perfect. They are always on time. The toilets too, they are trying.
I commend the effort of the management of the Federal Secretariat because they have cleaners, they maintain the toilet and everything. In fact, if I'm to grade them, I will give them distinction or excellent for the maintenance culture in the Federal Secretariat complex.
However, some of the civil servants asked the Ministry of Works to fix the problem of water supply in the complex as the ministry is saddled with such responsibility.
They will have to ask all those workers to take water from the main reservoir up to our floor. We occupy the second floor.
It's just that, you know, water doesn't come upstairs. I'm on the 3rd floor. Water doesn't come up. So, you know, they'll have to take water from down, up. And sometimes, so that makes it, the water is not always regular. The toilets are not usually clean. So all they do is just mop and clean because of lack of water coming up.
The National Orientation Agency, Gombe State Office said civil servants have a role to play in the maintenance of public buildings.
There are small repairs that we can do. And there are things that we can do to keep the place in order. So it's a trust. Let's do it, let's repair it, let's look after it so that those, even after us when we go, will come and use the infrastructure.
Efforts to speak to the Federal Ministry of Works responsible for maintenance of the Gombe State Federal Secretariat was unsuccessful as the work controller was not on seat during Trust TV's visit. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
And the FCT Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board is to commence airlifting of the first batch of intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia on Friday. To this end, the board has directed intending pilgrims from the territory to report at the permanent Hajj transit camp located near the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, immediately. A statement by the director of the board, Muhammad Nasur Dammalang, said the camp is to prepare intending pilgrims for airlift to Saudi Arabia. Dammalang informed that the first flight of FCT intending pilgrims is scheduled to be airlifted on Friday and requested those in the first flight to report on Thursday from 10 a.m. for collection of their travel documents and other preparations for the airlift. And now moving on to the foreign scene, where police in Bangladesh are investigating 8 officials working at a shipping container depot after a blaze killed at least 44 people, including 10 firefighters, and injured about 200 others. Senior police official Ashraful Karim said the investigation was opened into officials who were directly involved in operating the BM container depot on suspicion of negligence and mismanagement. Authorities are yet to determine the cause of the disaster, but they suspect a container of hydrogen peroxide was the cause of a massive blast that shook the neighborhood, followed by multiple other explosions. Firefighters put out the blaze at the depot in the Sitakunda, 40 kilometers from the southeastern port city of Chittagong, on Wednesday, 4 days after it began late Saturday, triggering a series of explosions. Now, a quick look at sports, where Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini, once the chiefs of world and European football, are on trial in Switzerland Wednesday over a suspected fraudulent payment. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter and Platini appeared in the Federal Criminal Court in the southern city of Bellinzona following an investigation that began in 2015 and lasted 6 years. The pair are being tried over a 2 million Swiss franc payment in 2011 to Platini, who was then in charge of European football's governing body, UEFA. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.